Gavin, I guess, yeah, just with some of those guys gone, have you taken on, or have you had to take on a little bit more of a leadership role?
Yes, sir, I would say so. And it's not really unnatural. I think it's kind of just stepping up in ways that, you're communicating with more, you're on the sideline, really looking after the young players and, kind of critiquing them whenever they get back to the sideline. So it's not necessarily like oh my gosh, I wasn't, a leader at all last year to, I have to be such a big leader, this year because everyone's gone. I think it's just kind of the little things that, we're missing without Jake or Drake. So I don't really think that's a big jump or something that I can't handle, but I think that I've definitely, kind of taken a more great, leadership spot on the tight end.
What is the competition in that room, knowing that it's a new offense that maybe doesn't lean on the tight end as much? What's the competition within all of y'all?
I mean, there was competition, every year that I was, at Baylor. We had 9 tight ends last year and then 6 my freshman year and, however much. So, I mean, it's competition every day. There's definitely certain people that can do, different roles, in the tight end room. So, I mean, you're competing against certain people, certain, roles that you have on a team. So, I mean, I think there's always going to be competition, so it's the same as it's always been.
Sure, when you're expecting to play wide zone and have the tight end be pretty utilized in, Grimes' offense, what did Jake Spavital sell you on sticking around and being part of his offense?
First, I think just, meeting Spav. He's an awesome dude. He's someone that you really want to play for. And then Jake Roberts, old teammate at UNT, actually went to Cal, transferred to Cal, played with Spav, and he was kind of more blocking tight end as I am. And I watched his film, and, he's a steamroller. He hits people, and I'm kind of the same way. And he likes to use those type of people in his offense. And so, he was someone I wanted to play for, and I knew that the body type and the player that I am, there's a role in that offense.
You talked about the blocking a little bit, but you have some snaps at fullback. Is that something that could continue moving forward?
Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. I haven't really spoken to him about it. If the opportunity is there, I love fullback and, just as much as I do tight end. But if it's there, I'd love to play fullback again.
Kevin, who have you seen step up in terms of, like I said, with those top 2 gone, who have you seen step up in that room?
I would definitely say Klopp. He's not in the room anymore, but he played a lot last year, and he was kind of more in between, pass catching and blocking. And I think now he's kind of really putting it all together, being really physical in the run game, and then being really crisp with his routes. And he's, he already has really good hands, and he came from, high school that, got used a lot in route running. So, he already has that background. He's took a really big jump, and he's, right in the competition with everyone.
How's the transition with the new tight ends coach, Coach Anderson, coming in? Does he fit in with this group, and what's he like?
Oh yeah, he's awesome, and I actually hurt his shoulder running into in football school. I was running a route and I clocked it right in the middle of the field, so it was kind of a great first impression by me. But I mean, he's awesome. He takes us out to dinners, and he's really close with all of us, and he calls us all the time. And I think just his football knowledge is something that we can all kind of get around with him, and it just makes us want to play for him, even more, knowing how smart he is.
Funny enough, I was going to ask when I saw him in a sling if one of y'all had blocked him to the ball.
Yeah, that was me. They threw a route over the middle, and I was going for it, and I didn't see him, and I clocked him and took him down. So, whoops. I guess I know I can hit hard. I don't know.
Has he brought it up ever again?
Oh, so much. I mean, every day. And he'll meet a recruit, and they'll say, oh, yeah, 43 right there. I tore his rotator cuff. I didn't even know, how I did that. I tore his rotator cuff. I was like, man, I'm sorry, Coach. I'd known him for maybe a week. So, good first impression.
In terms of position coach, when you have a position coach who's also the OC versus now one who's just your position coach, does that change any way in which, practices go, or the way that do you guys get more work in terms of just being tight ends, or does anything change in terms of that?
Yeah, I think a little bit whenever you're in the team settings, he's always with the tight ends, and he's always coaching us up. As with Grimes, he was over the whole offense. He was, behind offense. He was with O-line, quarterbacks, receivers, tight ends, everyone. So I think you're getting more of Anderson's focus, on yourself and, the rest of the tight ends. So I think that's a difference that you kind of have to adjust to. But both are good. I don't mind either or.
You kind of touched on it, but I mean, I think from the outside, people will say, oh, well, the tight end's just not going to be a part of this offense. But I've seen it out there. I mean, they're in the routes quite a bit, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I mean, we're going to get used, and how much, who knows? You know, that's, you know, based off of game, performance, and whatnot. But, I mean, in the pass game and in the run game as well. So I think we're going to get used, and, you know, there's a reason that, you know, the tight ends stuck around and they didn't, you know, all transfer. So I think that speaks more volumes than anything else.